bringing you the latest mods for Fallout 4. This week, as I said, will be the latest mods, and I do apologise for lack of notice. You don't normally I want to do a bit of advance warning when I'm going to do a live stream version of this, but with the increased quantity in the amount of things I'm trying to upload, Fridays have become pretty jam-packed, and I don't want to cut out any of the other content at the moment. So in order to get these videos up and loaded, I'm going to do on Fridays now the live stream edition of the latest mods, chapter mods, various different mods in the Fallout and Skyrim categories. If I could just ask one thing before I carry on with these, and that is for anyone who tuned in last week and they sat right the way through to the end, I pretty much pulled my heart out to you in the fact that my channel, I know, is not the biggest compared to some others. I mean, I'm just coming up to 300 subscribers now, but I do want to do this professionally. I do want to make this into a career if I actually can, and in order to do that I need more views, and I don't want to be one of those people that begs you for please watch my stuff, but in this instance I'm gonna do it. I appreciate most of you tuning in for the Black Mods reviews, and I thank you for that. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping to keep my channel on the upcline, the inclines, should I say. But I put so much time and effort into the other videos. Obviously, as I've mentioned before, I have 2 kids and a wife who I take time away from whilst I'm actually doing these. So with the amount of content I'm actually putting out for both GTA, Fallout, Skyrim, Dragon Age, Agents of Mayhem, you name it, Ghost Recon as well, I'm basically missing out on time with them. And as much as I accepted the fact of that when I was going to start doing this, part of me just wants it to be worthwhile. So I know a lot of the content that I produce might have no interest to you whatsoever. Please just give it a like, give it a thumbs up or something like that. If you are interested in the channel, then please help support it. As I've started putting on a lot of my videos, show your love with a like. I mean, what does it take? More than split second, 0.12 seconds to click that the like thing. So do us a favour, click it, just give me some sort of support, that's all I ask. Anyway, for those people who have supported the channel and are subscribed and tune in every week, thank you. You're absolute stars, and I cannot thank you enough. You really help the channel to grow. It didn't originally intend for these the Fallout mods and the Skyrim mods to be the main draw of the channel, but it seems like those are the 2 things which are of the most interest to people. So I am going to keep doing them over and over again until basically people get sick of them, or until something better comes along, which I don't see that really happening. Either way, I'll be doing these for the foreseeable future, so keep tuning in and I'll keep producing them basically. Anyway, right, getting into the other good thing, we're doing this live as well. I don't have to remember to set the half-hour record time to like an hour, so hopefully when you watch this video on playback, you'll actually notice that you've got all the video for a change, instead of the first 10 seconds missing like it happened last week and has happened before in the past. Anyway, right, going into the mods for the latest at the moment, we have got, I'm going to skip this one because it obviously says do not download, so it's just a test mod. Repaired Starlight Drive-In, for those people who want a settlement that's already pre-done kind of thing. Requires the DLC for the Wasteland Workshop. This is a simple mod that makes a few changes to the Starlight Drive-In settlement. Fixes the collapsed wing of the drive-in, replaces the wooden board with an actual door, flattens the asphalt area of the drive-in, removes the water puddle next to the screen. Load ordered really shouldn't make much of a difference and compatible with anything unless it alters Starlight Drive-In. So there you go. Just makes it a little bit better, I think, really. Shame there isn't too many other screenshots on it, but I suppose it's one of the things, like any mod, you just take a chance on it. Damage Overdose for PlayStation 4. We have got this mod will change some of the perks in the game and increase mostly your damage output and the power armor piece's health. It does not require any DLC. 27th of August update, vendors inventory refresh daily, new ammo craft system, gunpowder added. Caffeinates last much longer, vendors have more items to buy so you can get more materials to craft. More to come, at least one. If at least one interest, please might be that one. Okay, and enemies now respawn much faster as well. Okay. Makeshift furniture pack for the PlayStation 4. Anybody who's looking for more settlement objects, this might be one for you. If someone ever does one that combines everything, that'll probably be better, saving on the mod limits. This is his first mod he ever done. Please be nice. Latest update fixes a few floating sunken items. Adds makeshift workshops with workshop rugs, a variety of cluttered shelves. Basically, this adds a variety of makeshift beds, shelves, desks, and tables to keep your settlement looking scrappy but believable. Due to restrictions, none of the beds or chairs are interactive. Okay, that's a bit of a shame. You will need to glitch or place anywhere a sleep mat. Oh, okay, not included in this mod yet if you want NPCs to use them. Okay, so much fell off the shelf upstairs. A little sofa bed there, as you can see. You've got a little sofa mat on the top of them, and as usual, someone decides to friggin' text just whilst you're trying to do the thing. Right, so move on to the next one. Ernie's Pizza Place. That sounds different. Ernie and Jessica have renovated the pizza parlour next to the old North Church and opened it for business. Ernie works the kitchen bar and sells pizza items. Jessica planted some food crops and works the small garden, which supplies some fresh produce for the kitchen. Ernie and Jessica's bedroom and bathroom are on the second floor above the restaurant. The third floor has another room and a nice balcony. The small apartment building next door has been restored. The first floor was converted to a work area with all types of workbenches and some storage containers. Basically, this is a 4-story apartment player home. If you wanted to do stuff, there is a workbench in there as well. So you can pretty much turn the place into whatever you want. But if you want to keep it with the Pizza Hut exterior kind of thing, then that's completely up to you. It is a nice little property, I must admit, if you want to do something a bit more immersive and have your character own a fanfic business kind of thing. Free Fall for Far Harbour Edition. Okay, this has come up before, but I'll go over it just in case it's been updated. Mod that comprehensively fixes, where possible, bugs, glitches and annoyances in Far Harbour whilst restoring a lot of unused content. Now PlayStation 4s get to see what they have been missing. Okay, this version is specifically for Far Harbour and it just adds in a bunch of different stuff. Where possible, is implemented fixes seen in the unofficial Fallout patch, and there isn't really that much of a descriptive on it, unfortunately, so it's really just a case of trying them out. Mod again, that comprehensive. This works with or without any of the DLC. However, the specific versions for the DLC packs too. Please note, best experience, recommend starting a new game, like you would with most of them, unfortunately. Again, not a lot of detail on what it entails. Mini Tower, another sanctuary. This basically adds a Minutemen themed base of operations for your sanctuary. Requires a DLC for Automatron, Wasteland Workshop, Far Harbour, Contraptions Workshop, Voltec Workshop, and Nuka World, so pretty much everything. Okay, without going through the things, I have read this one over before. Basically adds a mission, discover and clear out all 4 of the highly detailed buildings, a mini tower, a mini condo, and a mini mart, and a bunker with a military T-45 with jetpack. Use them as your player home and main settlements. Many perks and handy weapons can be found to help you with a second playthrough, or if you just want to have some fun. You could have some lagging or serious lagging depending on what other mods you have running due to original detailing. It's not playable for you or using the buildings. Be sure to use the mod in a new game save, unfortunately, or use a save file of one where there is nothing built in. Oh, basically, so if you've done anything, any kind of building in Sanctuary, then you're screwed. Uh, Unless, I suppose, you go back to Sanctuary and blitz the entire place again, and then just hope for the best. But I think you're pretty much looking at a fresh game save for these, unfortunately. Mystic Pines Settlements. Requires a DLC for Automatron, Wasteland Workshop, Far Harbour, Contractions Workshop, Voltec Workshop. Complete overhaul to Mystic Pines and adds a completely working settlement with workshop, beds and food, electricity, water and defence. Chances are that it won't show up in your Pip-Boy as a settlement, although it could be a new game start if needed to work. Still figuring that one out, but you can do a trade line with your first settler walking in Mystic Pines to another settlement you have. The line will show up in the Pip-Boy map. Just connect the wires and attract the settlements to attract the settlers, etc. But you will need all the DLC except Nuka World. Okay, clean and this is a new one. In the Clean and Smooth series. For those who haven't seen the Clean and Smooth series before, they basically they took most of the settlements one by one and completely leveled them out, took all the garbage away that would take a long time to clear, and also fixed a few things as well. By the looks of it on this one, he's done quite a lot to it, so I'll just go through this for you. This mod is complete cleanup of Covenant settlement located to the southeast of Starlight Drive-In. It's also near Tappington Boathouse as well. That's probably one of the nearest locations that I can think of to it. It removed every bit of junk, trees, leaves, dead foliage and everything in between, leaving a completely cleaned up, beautiful settlement ready for design and use. This is a pretty small settlement, but with a complete concrete wall surrounding the entire place, it's ideal for an easily defendable stronghold. There wasn't much to change from the original version of the settlement, but he did spend a lot of time making custom scripts for settlement work. As usual, all the garbage and messes were cleaned up, and he removed the garbage textures from the landscape. Since the settlement has a lot of story taking place, he paid special attention to preserve all of the triggers and events. After you've taken control of Covenant, you can access the workshop. Everything is completely available to scrap except the concrete walls. Yeah, that's one thing you can't do, even if you do pre-walled settlements. The walls are pretty much set as they are. Everything's completely scrapped apart from concrete walls. Turret stands, houses, beds and everything else within them are ready for removal if you want. So if you don't want the houses there, you can scrap them. Don't see why you'd want to do that though. But I suppose if you want to build your own house in there, or you have a mod that actually lets you put houses down, full houses, then that is pretty good. Since he was a big fan of Deezer and his free lemonade, he set his status to protected in case he accidentally became tangled up in the ensuing gunfire battle. Now he can only be killed if you intentionally fire upon him. Also seems to get stuck in the middle of places and won't move. He added the ability to command him and move him around the settlement. Okay. Clean and Clear, another one. Croup Manor for PlayStation 4. Another one, I must admit, that has needed. One thing I will say though, with the mods, even though that clears up, I must admit, a lot of the area which I've not been able to do on mine. A lot of these settlement clear ups you can do with some of the mods, which I'll show you later on. It's the ones I'm currently using. If you've seen the mod list that I used before, then you already know which ones I'm on about. It's like Scrap That Settlement Complete version, and remove bushes, shrubs and garbage type of mod. So basically you can clear up pretty much everything that's in the area. That does look slightly clearer, I must admit, than what mine looks like, so he must have some kind of extra mod on there to clear some of that. The centre piece there in the roundabout, that is not movable. They're actually on mine, so he has been able to clear that up as well. Anyway, this mod is a complete clear up of Croup Manor settlement located to the south of Kingsport Lighthouse settlement. He's removed every bit of junk trees and dead foliage and yada yada yada, leaving a completely cleaned up, beautiful settlement ready for design and use. I've turned mine into Bates Motel. And when you see my later videos for the Fallout modded gameplay and story content, you'll actually notice that I've started doing a end screen where I usually put my subscribe and like option. I've actually put a custom end screen now, which is actually recorded outside of the finished Croup Manor, and I've done one of the Starlight driving billboard things that just says like Crowangel Gaming, like and subscribe, etc., etc. Oh, they're actually on there. Just adds a bit of extra fun. Yeah, so anyway, this basically is cleaned up, and the house has been the house interior and the porch and the top of the house have all been cleaned up as well. But that is possible with the other mods as well, because when I finally got to there, I was expecting to have to fix that little porch rooftop, which you can see in the right hand side of the house there. But that had been completely fixed, and all the holes in the floors and stuff had been fixed as well, so you no longer had the ghouls hanging through them or anything like that. It was all completely on top of the floors now, but you take a chance with everything anyway. Okay, just strong people. Okay. This mod was made by a request of a user. Always put a rating, yada yada yada. This mod makes the raiders, gunners, and triggermen strong, with the exception of some quests. Okay. Cambridge Red Rocket. This mod adds a workshop to the Cambridge Red Rocket to make it a fully functioning settlement. Opens up the two houses just behind the Red Rocket building. Okay, this is up by... Alright, no, it's not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking it was the Red Rocket that is up by the military base where you confront Kellogg. So no, it doesn't. I don't think it's that one. It's more in Cambridge, which is the centre of the city, isn't it? Yeah. Either way. Okay, I digress. Mod adds a workbench to the Cambridge Red Rocket to make it fully functional. Opens up two houses just behind the Red Rocket building. Also adds some settlers. Maureen, the junk store, Veronica, the restaurant bar owner, Isaac does some guard duty, and Tammy, the settlement leader and farmer, a cat and a dog. Okay. The houses have working kitchens, bathrooms, furniture, and decorations. Jesus, I feel like a sales executive for, not what they call them, those people that show people around houses. No, this is what you get when you have two kids. You see, your mind just goes to utter crap. Anyway, realtor. There we go. Finally got it. The houses have working kitchens, bathrooms, and decorations. The decorations are static, so you won't be able to loot them. You can scrap them in workshop mode, but they won't give you any loot. Okay. The larger house has the restaurant, and the smaller house has the junk store on the first floor. The second floor has bathroom and bedrooms and bathrooms. The Red Rocket garage has a workshop and all workbenches. This is completely junk fence. There is a complete junk fence wall and guard towers and gates all around the location. The exterior gates are locked with and require a key. There is a key in the mailbox outside the fence on the north side. There is a key next to the cash register in the Red Rocket building. You can build a key at the chem station from the utility menu. The four settlers have keys also, and they can open the gates. The gates will close automatically, but will not lock again until they leave the location and come back, so the cell can reload. There are two water purifiers, a pylon and the power fuse box, wired and powered up. You should also connect the wires to the pylon to power other stuff you add to the settlement. Note, if you want to move the power pylon purifiers, you'll need to turn off the power and scrap the wires. Basically just like any other thing. All in all, I think that's pretty much a worthwhile mod. They seem to have put a lot of work and thought into it, so if that's something for you and you're looking for new areas to own or inhabit, then this one might be for you. Anyway, moving on to the next. Okay, Craft your own robot, another one which I still haven't gotten around to updating, so I'm not too sure what's included in the update. Sorry, they're just lubricating the throat, needed a bit of water. You can build a robot on the settlements, robots that can be created from the Protectron to mass production of Liberty Prime, as I've mentioned before, requiring a large amount of resources and high scientific power. Created in the workshop turret category, DLC for Automatron is unnecessary. Also, robots can be manufactured, cannot be repaired, remodeled with Automatron's robot workbench. There is nothing to point to notice on installing load orders. When you disassemble the robot, the belongings will disappear. If your synth brings items from a workshop, etc., please collect items before dismantling him. No problems. When Liberty Prime starts battle, the settlers and the settlements also seriously damaged. So in other words, use him on the outside of the town. In the latest update, he's reduced manufacturing costs of a robot as well. Added a teleport grenade which allows you to transfer robots to your favourite places at any time. It can be created in the chemistry set. The robot called the teleport grenade can be assigned to the settlement by move command. Assigned robots can join the residents and appoint them to farm work, etc. Scavenge defense supply lines. So yeah. Automatic hunting rifle. This mod, created based on requests, gives the hunting rifle a semi-automatic, fully automatic receiver. Extended with your customization choices. You can customize the weapon workbench or for available from enemy belongings. There's a bug with it as well, warning just to be on the safe side. Because the animation is still bolt action, bolt will only animate when reloading. Therefore, it seems that a cartridge is coming out from the closed ejection port. This cannot be fixed, unfortunately. Okay, but the fact that you can turn a single shot rifle into a multi is a damn good thing anyway. Okay, that's the Japanese version up. Smooth and clean and smooth country crossing. Fuck hell. Yeah. Okay, so anybody who's after country crossing, Jesus, what is country crossing? Yeah. Anybody who wants a clean and smooth country crossing, then this mod is for you. Basically, it goes like the other ones I've mentioned for the clean and smooth. It just clears up a lot of the debris and everything else. I'm not going to go through all the intricate details of it again. Country crossing, in case anyone's trying to think, it took me a second or two to get used to what it is. Country crossing is the big farm where they have a lot of moot fruit trees planted. It's right next to the military base where you got all of the ghouls inside, and don't ask me to remember the name because I cannot. It's just a little bit further down than the satellite dishes and also Finch Farm. So normally when you go there, there's a shack which the people who are already there are living in. This one, it actually takes away the garbage as well, but it also adds a workable building. So you're not starting off with just a shack, you're getting a fully functioning little mini house. By the look of it, it's pretty similar. Well, no, without the garage on, I suppose. It looks a little bit like the house that you get down south. So I think no, it's not. It's a completely new house, isn't it? Yeah. Well, anyway, if you are interested in starting off with something a little bit better with Country Crossing, then there you go. Clean and smooth coastal cottage. This is the one pretty high up on the northeast side of the coast. Again, not too many screenshots to really give you an indication of where it is, but again, it's all been cleaned up. And originally you start with a half dismantled house which isn't fixable, unfortunately. I've tried all sorts of putting concrete blocks around it, and in the end I just end up abandoning it and hardly ever using it. There is a little tunnel cave thing that leads down underneath the house that you could possibly do something with normally, but it is a pretty rubbish place to say the least to create a settlement out of. I'd be interested to actually see. Actually, I mean, I don't usually encourage links and stuff, but if you have actually done something with Coastal Oak Cottage without necessarily doing the clean and smooth, link me your videos. I'd absolutely love to have a look at them. And what I'll start doing if there is stuff that I genuinely notice is a genuine link to something that you want to actually show me, then I'll give you like a shout out on this. So if there is ever any stuff you've done or stuff on your channel, if you're not interested necessarily in becoming like a YouTuber or anything like that, and you just want to show some of the things you've actually done, then by all means mention it in the comments. I'll check you don't necessarily even have to post a link, because 9 times out of 10 if you post a link on the comment section, it's going to go into the spam folder. So it's just it's a way, I think, that like YouTube tries to automatically weed out any of the spam the things where you get people constantly we get 3,000 views every week, come check out our channel on Shout Out Sunday, and you get all these other different stuff like that. I've had more than I can clear sometimes on a common week where they're constantly your channel deserves more views, come check out our thing, we can give you 20,000 subscribers. No you can't. I'd sooner earn my viewers the legitimate way without offering shark cards and bonus gifts and stuff like that. Call me cheapskate, but I'd sooner people want to actually see my channel for my content rather than just doing it because I'm going to give them something. But anyway, yeah, if point being, at the end of that, if you do have something you want me to check out and give you a shout out on the Bash Mod review, or the next time I do a channel announcement video, by all means, drop me a comment in the comment section. I'll check out your page, and I'll be able to if you specifically title the video whatever it is that you want me to like look at anyway. So if it's like a funny moment in Fallout 4 where something really hilarious happens, just title it for funny moment, and I'll be able to locate it. But yeah, if you want me to check out anything on your channels, just rather than post a link, just write a comment and just say, hey Crow, just check this out. It's pretty funny. Thought you might like it. Heard you mention it in the video, and thought you might like this or something. Anyway, you know what to do. Moving on, we've got Clean and Smooth Bunker Hill for the PlayStation 4 version. Again, not going to go into too much detail, but it basically just levels it all out, takes away a lot of the shantytown area. Guarantee it takes a lot of the fencing away as well by the looks of it, so you will have to go back and do all of that. But if you want to start off with a pretty empty Bunker Hill, then that is actually a pretty damn good mod. There is a metal fencing by the looks of it just around some of the outside there. I can just see it in the bottom corner. So you have still got some kind of protection, but you're still going to have to do a lot of work if you want it to be defendable. The tower itself looks like it's still fairly scrappy, but I suppose you'd need that because when you go up the inside, there's a lot of areas where you can peek out and take sniper pot shots from. Oh, that's what I do anyway. Human cooking. Please tell me this is not a cannibalism one. Are you not tired of ordinary meal? You can eat humans. Let's produce a night dinner. Okay, dismantle human corpses from workshop. Then when you dismantle it, it's meat and but yeah. Okay, cannibalism. If you like cannibalism, human cooking, then there you go. Lightweight fusion cores. As per request from a Reddit user, a simple mod that reduces the weight of fusion cores in survival mode from 4 to 1.75. Clean and smooth, Boston Airport. I wish I had done this one before I'd started, because I must admit, yeah, I've seen this one before and this looks a lot better. Okay, my personal grief with Boston Airport is the fact that you can't put any freaking water purifier. Not water purifiers. Sorry, you can't put any food down. I haven't tried it since the Vault editions, where you can add a coffee machine and stuff that suppresses hunger and all these other type of stuff. But the one thing that always got me with Boston Airport is why have such a fantastic location that you can pre-build up, but not have any food. So what was the point in having settlers there? Because they're constantly going to be bitching and moaning about the fact they're hungry, and you can't do much else with it. It kind of defeated the point. This one, I'll admit, it looks better than what I'd probably do with it with the interior. I probably wouldn't, if I had this one installed, I probably wouldn't really bother that much with adding beds and stuff. I just keep it as a easy way to get in and out of the airport. But the other thing with that is, if you're going to use settlements, you might as well link them all up. So I'll probably get one settler in there, then disable the communications and set that settler as a supply line. So at least that way you can link it up. And if you ever want to do anything in there, at least then it is connected to your main hub. In my case, first playthrough I did, I had not Finch Farm. I had the first playthrough I did. I always used Abernathy Farm because it seemed to be the biggest and the highest location. You could just build and build and build all the way up to pretty much the sky limit. And then on future playthroughs now, I've just gone lazier, I think, a little bit, and now I have Sanctuary as the main hub base of operations, where all my supplies are kept, and then I dispatch supply lines. Every settlement I've unlocked, I've dispatched the supply lines back to there. Boston Airport is a good one to have, but as I said, the lack of food thing in there is really annoying sometimes. Doesn't look like this guy has actually added anything to make that fixed, really, so it's more of a, oh look, this place is looking nicer, than it being strategically or any proper use in terms of food and stuff. So I'll leave it up to you. Anyway, pre-war houses, I do apologise for talking so much on this one. It's because it's going live that normally I'm a lot more concentrated on the time and stuff, because I'm not so limited by the time this time. I feel a bit more relaxed, and I can actually do the kind of videos I probably want to do the rest of the time, where I just talk random shit. But anyway, pre-war house settlement extension. Big thanks to everyone like that. You'll need the main gate and front door keys from the dead body or the duffel bag, which can be found on the street opposite the garage. Look under the bus shelter. Back door key is in the house. Okay. The appearance, new features have been added to it as well. The appearance of the pool house has been adjusted, making it appear more worn and used. A fully functional exterior settlement with unique guest house. You can also grow your own crops and send followers there. Can be found around the back of the pre-war house. A handcrafted exterior pool, and okay, there's a whole load of different stuff. Wow, okay. That does not look like it's using in-game assets. I could be severely wrong there, but yeah, okay. Right, I've got to check this out just for my own curiosity, because that does not look like in-game assets. So this guy might be getting his mod took down pretty quick. But either way. Clean and smooth, Abernathy Farm. Okay, as I was saying before, I used to use Abernathy Farm a lot, so this probably would be something, if I hadn't already got my stuff done there, that I probably would have done. Levels it out so it doesn't seem to be going downhill as much as it would do normally. As you can see, Mary's grave has been preserved a little bit better on that one. I'm guessing he used the mod limit extension, the settlement limit extender, to be able to work on that bit as well. But yeah, there isn't really that much else I can say about that. The outside building around the power pylon tower seems to be more or less the same still, and that's about it. Yeah, if you do use pre-walled settlements, one of the mods I've got, this one is one of the mods, the farms that does get a fence around it. The side that you're looking at now, towards the white water dome tower, whatever it is, that's usually the side where your doorway appears as well. So if you're coming in from Sanctuary, your door's always on that side. If you're coming in from the other side, you're screwed, unless you put one of the fast travel doormats down. Seems to be the week of clean and smooth anyway. Yeah, if you're looking for any of the clean and smooth, the guy's name is Okie, O-K-I-E, 1682. So he has got quite a lot of clean and smooth settlement mods actually out there, so be sure to check him out. I'll give him an official shout out there because he has done a lot of good work. As you can see with the one after this one, it's another one of his mods. Vault jumpsuit with special enhancements. Adds a additional enhancement attached slot to all base game vault jumpsuits that allows the user buff one of their special attributes. Currently supports Vault 75, 81, 95, 101, 111, 114 jumpsuits, as well as the respective clean variants as well. Character requirements, perk 1 of armor and perk 1 of science as well. Right, as aforementioned, Grey Garden, the clean and smooth edition. We've got, well, to be fair, it doesn't really look that much different. It has took away some of the rubble, like the burnt out car, which I can never seem to remove from on the downhill. It's leveled out a little bit of the hillside, so it doesn't seem as rocky and uneven, and that's pretty much about all I can say for really. As these other settlements, you pay thing to leave all the mission triggers in and so on and so forth. But yeah, he's removed the cars and trash. Another thing he learned while on this mod, you can actually climb up and build on the highway segments of the greenhouse. The highway segments above the greenhouse, yes, I already knew that myself. That bit of the bridge there, if you build a tower, even if you build a simple tower to get all the way up there, you can actually build on top of that as well. I did it on my first playthrough. Unfortunately, it was a playthrough where my mod limit completely obliterated my game. Not mod limit, my settlement building obliterated any possible future playthrough on it. But you live and learn. Workshop banks. Okay. This mod allows you to control the contents of containers, workshops in Sanctuary Hills. Added wall of safe deposit boxes associated with container workshops. Access to the contents of the cell open only after the capture of settlements for vanilla. I created this mod because I was confused in the caravan and I all shot. I tried to drag items from one settlement to another settlement. Make finally of the caravan to plough the land with the Legendary Reborn. Oh god, it's the same guy. This mod changes most of the legendary system. Now legendary items have the right to be called legendary. Meeting them does not bode well for you. The fights will be challenging and fierce, but you will be the winner. Revamped legendary items. Again, if you want legendary items, just buy the legendary mod maker. Legendary modifications where you can create your own weapons. You don't need 100 freaking legendary weapon mods. You just make your own. Nuclear missile launcher. Okay. Added 10 nuclear launchers to the wasteland. See the pictures in the map. Locations and ammo is craftable at chem station under utility. So there you go. It looks like this one's in the glowing sea, just below the entrance to the glowing sea, where the cursor is on the map is just below the church, I think it is. Yeah, where the cursor is, you've got the edge of the glowing sea there. Vault, which is directly diagonal from the vault. I think it's not Vault 81, it's something like Vault 85. And yeah, it's just a little bit over from the church where the location where these nuclear launchers are. So if you follow the freeway, looks like you're going to be able to find them pretty easy. Riverview Row House. This mod opens up 2 row houses on the Charles River and adds a workbench to create a fully functioning settlement. The row house is down the street from the Back Street Apparel, so as you know, it's pretty much going to be an easy one to find. Right next to the Marlborough House and close to Hallucinogen, so if you're pretty much looking at a house that's right in the middle of pretty much everything. Yeah, you can set up supply lines for resources, add a recruitment beacon to attract settlers, or just set it up as a player home with no settlers at all. So yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, one of the rows of houses has some furniture and a kitchen with a working stove and drinking water and so forth. The build area extends across the street next to the river and water access, so you can put a purifier and some land to plant crops as well to keep a Brahmin. 4 supply Brahmins at the Institute. Straightforward. USO. Okay, yeah, USO menu patch add-on for settlement object. Okay, this is a new one for anyone who likes the USO mods. He's pretty popular out there at the moment because he does a lot of stuff that no one else seems to be able to do. USO base game is a required mod, as always. I've mentioned this before, but if you are going to download any of USO's mods, you need his base game mod first, core components and unlock settlement objects. Otherwise, half the stuff will not work, or it will come up as blacklisted or something like that. You just won't get anything off him. Also, the USO menu patch add-on for unlock settlement objects, which is this one. This mod is a patch for the Unlocked Settlement Objects base game mod to allow USO to be used by users of certain mods, such as Workshop Rearranged, that alter the Raider category menu and thereby stop the USO integrated menu appearing as it should. See the mod images, which is that one. Basically, if you need any FAQ as well, just check out these Bethesda page as well. Lever action shotgun, pretty much what we've come up with before. Just going to try and get through some of these now because we're going on past 42 minutes, 43 minutes even. Post endgame Minutemen plugin for Integrated Commonwealth. This requires the mod for Integrated Commonwealth, which is, I'm guessing, another one of Andrew WCX's. You requires a DLC as well for pretty much everything. And were you disappointed to have led the Minutemen to the destruction of the Institute and defeated the Raiders' threat in Nuka World, only to find the Commonwealth is largely unchanged beyond a handful of flags in Diamond City, with the odd Minutemen wandering about? A few bits of random dialogue for certain NPCs and a presence at old military checkpoints. Post-endgame plugins for Integrated seek to resolve this by making those changes you can't make otherwise in favour of specified factions. Not going to go through all of them, but so the top ones are increase the frequency with which Minutemen patrols spawn from your Minutemen controlled settlements. Improves the standard gear Minutemen carry. They will no longer wear wasteland clothes. All Minutemen will be in Minutemen uniform, which is what I try to do, and they will now have a greater chance to be armoured, and the armour will frequently be of a higher grade, including combat armour. Minutemen will also no longer carry weapons other than the iconic laser muskets. Okay, and caravan guards will now be dressed as Minutemen as well. USO Season Pass add-on for another one for unlocked settlement objects. Pretty much requires again the base game one. The Season Pass, which is this one, add-on for unlocked settlement objects, and patch notes for it. Again, this mod combines all the content in the following USO add-ons into a single mod to save on mod space and simplify it on load orders. All 6 DLC must be installed to use the mod together with the base game and core components. All content from the following components of USO are included in this mod. So USO Automatron, USO Wasteland Workshop, USO Far Harbor, Contraption, so on and so forth, Nuka World, mashups and cubes. Other modular components of USO, such as USO Radio Series and Jetty Patch, together with the core base component, remain separate for various technical reasons and so forth. Right, Nuka World, okay, another one, third thing. I'm just going to go through these because these are pretty much the same thing. It's just extra USO base game add-ons that you can have. One for Nuka World, one for Far Harbor, one for Automatron. This is the base game one that was mentioned earlier if you're looking for it. This is the base game core components for core components of unlocked settlement objects. Whenever he mentions the fact that you need to have the base one to start with, this is the one you're looking for, the one with the big blue shelves and the flags in the background. That's the first screenshot you'll actually see of it. Golden gun variant, sniper rifle, 50 cal hunting rifle with combat style retexture. Again, you can just make your own weapons really like that. Good Neighbor Player Home mod cleanup. Frostbite, a Gatling gun named Frostbite with a white retexture, can be found just outside of Vault 111. Features the legendary Furious legendary effects, reduced weight, increased accuracy and blue laser. Cannot be upgraded at the weapons workbench. Again, this is where I'm going to turn around and say, well, why don't you download legendary modifications? Because unless you necessarily want a different colour to it, legendary modifications will allow you to modify the weapon, change the legendary, upgrade its specials, upgrade the components to the weapon, name it whatever you want, and you can go back at any time and you can do it. Again, I cannot sing the praises of legendary modifications enough, because all these people who are coming up with individual mods just to basically take up yet another mod space that you really don't want to use up. If you download legendary modifications, you're pretty much making your own legendaries. That includes armor, power armor, guns, you name it. Every possible legendary you can make, instead of having to collect them and store them in a chest that you'll never use, you make your own legendaries, sell off any that you find, make yourself a bit more caps legitimately instead of doing any cheat ways. And that's all I can really say about it. You just make your own, and you're using one mod to make millions of legendaries instead. So you be the judge of that. Clean and smooth Finch Farm. Okay, pretty much again, I'm not going to go massively into it, but Finch Farm has been cleaned up, and as you can see from there, the top of the road as well has been cleaned up. Another like in Grey Garden, if you didn't already realize, actually build up onto the main road, and you can build. There isn't that much height on top of the main road, but you can place what was it I did the first time? I was able to put guard towers and all sorts of things right at the ends of the road, which just give a nice little fort feel to it. If you put all the concrete blocks in between the leg struts as well, you can actually corner off that area to make it, and then if you build out again from the leg struts, you can pretty much build yourself your own little castle within that area, and then build your steps going up to the platform. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm looking at it, and this is what I'm going to do with mine. So just giving you a sneak preview of what is coming with one of my settlement builds. From where you can see the pillars underneath the bridges there, they're going to be concrete blocks right the way as high as they can actually be on that, and it's going to stretch from pillar to pillar basically, and then it's going to go right the way up to the top. So essentially you've got the road bridge as the lookout point, and then the sea area is going to be completely fenced off with concrete blocks. The idea was to build a defendable fort type of thing, like a Brotherhood of Steel conclave kind of thing. But we'll see when it finally comes to fruition if I'm able to do it. Anyway, coming on to the next one, you've got Super Behemoth test. Okay, it's just a simple tester mod. Roadside Pines. What's this? Roadside Pines. Okay. Roadside Pines Motel Settlement. Basically, this one again is a little mini quest mod that they've put in there. Continues the story set by Thicket Executions, having removed Thick, heard of. Having removed Thick, heard of Carter Mason, and made a name for yourself. The story continues onwards to the Roadside Pines Motel. Clear the area, read the terminal notes, and so on and so forth, and then you can use it as a settlement afterwards as well. Keep Radiance within the Commonwealth. Again, this is one I've actually favorited, but I haven't had a chance to try out yet. This mod, basically, I'm not going to even go through all the details. If you've ever picked up any of the Radiant quests that send you outside, if you've got all the downloadable content like Nuka World and Far Harbor specifically, because those are the two ones which take you out of the immediate area. If you've ever had any of those missions and you pick up a mission from the Brotherhood of Steel, one of the repeatable, hence Blast Radiance, if you've ever had any of those missions where they send you outside of the area and you're not quite ready to go to Nuka World yet, because the first time you arrive at Nuka World, a bit of spoilers here if you have never if you've never took part in Black Nuka World. The first time you arrive at Nuka World, you've got to do this whole quest chain where you arrive on the tram and then you've got to go through a game of death arena type of thing, and then face a armored bad guy at the end of it with a water gun. I kid you not. But yeah, you got to take him out with a water gun because he's wearing this electrified suit. But anyway, you've got to go through all of that, and then you've got to go and meet up with Gage, and then you've got to talk to like a bunch of raiders before you can even go off and explore Nuka Galaxy and all these other places where the place will actually send you to. That's a pain in the ass, to be honest. So this mod is basically one that will let you keep those kind of quests that you get in the Commonwealth in the Commonwealth. You're not going to end up having to go off to left, right and centre into areas where you're not ready to go yet. The same thing happens with Far Harbor. If you get a mission that's sending you off to Far Harbor, which will appear on the top right of your map, if you haven't actually been there already, you've got to meet up with the distraught family whose daughter's run off, and then who she may or may not be a synth. You've then got to go through talking to them, investigating her room before you can actually get on the fishing boat to go to Far Harbor to take part in something that's going on when you first arrive there. There's animals coming out of the fog and all sorts of things. Again, spoilers, I do apologise. But to be honest, with how old the game is now, if you haven't played those, then I'm pretty much not giving much away because they've been featured on like tons of other channels. But yeah, if you haven't played any of that, I do apologise if I have spoiled anything, but point being, you go over there and you've got to complete in all this stuff first before you can even get to explore the rest of the island. It's a pain in the ass. So this mod is, to me, an essential. I haven't downloaded it yet, so I do apologise for that, and just to show my commitment to the mod, I'll actually download it live on there. So yeah, I'll put a nice rub rating for it as well because it is a good one. It's basically, if you don't want to be sent to these other locations for the Brotherhood of Steel, the railroad and stuff, I'm already too late on that one. I have already got one which is sending me to Nuka Galaxy, and I'm holding off on it. I think it's one of her quests as well, cow. But yeah, if you do want to prevent having to have those sort of missions, then there you go. Mythic creatures for the PlayStation 4, then this again is pretty much something I've covered before in past editions and subcategories as well. It adds a bunch of unique enemies you can go after, just been renamed to fit pop culture. Things like King Kong for a master gorilla and all sorts of things. Exotic enemies makes a bunch of different enemies come after you. If anyone's ever seen The Warriors, you'll probably recognise what I mean when I say there's people with baseball bats, as you can see in that picture, coming after you. Freemaker Complete Edition adds a bunch of unique stuff that you can make within the game that isn't technically normally on the other stuff. UCO Pip-Boy Color Swap Edition, scrap that settlement. Again, base game version, you don't really need that anymore if you've got some of the other ones which I'll be showing later. Busty Mod just gives you a bunch of different breast sizes. If you're quite happy to have your character looking how they look, then you don't really need this one. UCO Base Game Core Components, again, this is for the Unified Clothing Overhaul. You do need, again, unfortunately, the base game core component for Unified Clothing Overhaul and the armor and weapon keyword community resource for it. Wacky Weapons Workshop Complete Edition. Clean and Smooth towards Marina. This is one of the places where I do like to do a lot of work, I must admit. And again, I wish I had this mod before I started work on there, because I've made a bit of a balls up of the outside of, I can't see the building really. The building that's in the foreground here, this is obviously the main area of it, and I've built it up into like a castle with concrete walls on top and everywhere. Just basically fitting a wall around it as much as I could. I kind of looked at it afterwards and I was like, okay, I want to scrap this again now. This is like it always have ones. He's completely cleaned it out, took away all the rubble. You'll still have access to that in the settlement objects inventory. So not like you're going to have to carry things there in order to build anything right from the start. Kind of wish he took away the shed in a way, because that's one of the things that I wish wasn't there, and I could have built like a little house across it instead. But yeah, you live and learn. Plus I think that's kind of quest related stuff in there as well anyway. Throwing knives and grenade pack, straightforward really. Nora's glasses, don't really know. This mod adds black glasses to Nate and Nora's house called Nora's Glasses. These add 6 points to every special stat. You may want to start a new game and put 4 points into each stat. Okay. Corporate Raiders, pre-war settlement items. So if you want your houses to have some of those pre-war stuff, then there you go. Pretty much straightforward. Adds cars, trees, furniture, and decor, all for your use in settlements. You can also now craft pre-war settlement, pre-war clothing as well. Your super special. I know. This mod adds 41 your special books, so you can max out your character. There are a total of 42.3. Okay. 42 point. 3 are in Nate and Nora's house, and the other 39 are in the house with the workshop, so pretty much directly across from the house. Power armor Tesla packs. Free maker for Nuka World. Again. Ultimate PlayStation 4 cheat compilation. Requires a mod for Freemaker base game. A lot of people seem to be doing this now to get a lot of their mods multi-used. I've noticed they're making a base game core component to start with, and then adding stuff onto it that you have to download if you want to have the other stuff. All credit to them. Far Harbor Edition, Nuka World Edition, Atomitron Edition. Why don't we just do a complete one? Simple green and simple yellow adds a bit of colour into your game world. Simple green, simple yellow, and simple red grass reduction patch. This one will take away some of the grass. The mod is an optional component of a simple green series that allows users to reduce the types of areas that grass appears in. Straightforward. Again, straightforward with that one. And simple seasons of fall. If you want to change the trees basically into looking like they fit a certain season, then that's for you. Spring, they come in spring season and fall so far. Integrated Commonwealth. UCO Season Pass add-ons for Unified Clothing, UCO Vault Tech Workshop add-ons, UCO Nuka World add-on for Unified Clothing, got another one, Far Harbor Edition, Tomatron Edition, UCO Awakening, what? Andrew WCQX, optional patch for unlocked settlement objects, another one. If you're looking for him, again, you need all the required mods that are listed there, the base game, Andrew, armor and weapon keyword community resource as well, and this one on top of it. Small but complete optional patch for those using both his USO Unlocked Settlement Object Series and his UCO Unified Clothing Overhaul. So okay, he does have two separate different base mods. I didn't quite realise that before when I was going through them, but yeah. When installed, it simply moves the three Andrew WC custom workbenches, ammunition crafting, armor smithing, weapon smithing into the USO integrated crafting category from the general. Okay, anybody who's doing it, then you pretty much know what you're doing when you download anything by Andrew CX anyway. UK USO Radio, Enclave Patriot Radio, Classical Radio. Breakheart Homestead. This is the one that's a little bit further up than the slog. If anyone's been here, you usually get a mission to go kill a bunch of super mutants, and then you keep going back to kill super mutants over and over again because they keep respawning in. This is the area, like I said, if you've done the slog prerequisite to open it up as a settlement, they almost always send you up here to kill the super mutants. Simple mission, but for some reason it was never unlocked as a settlement. Whether they originally intended it to be or not, I don't know. But there's a bunch of preset plants as well, which makes me think it was originally intended, but they probably thought it was too close to the other one. I don't know. Coastal Cottage and Finch Farm were close enough, so I don't see why it wasn't really done unless they just forgot about it. Charles Overhaul Perk Patch Scrapper. Again, Charles Overhaul, Bowling Ball Pitch. Okay. Requires the DLC for Far Harbor. This weapon is a reskinned grenade that looks like a bowling ball. The projectile is a reskinned seeking missile. If you use a gun with a targeting system, that they might work together. Craft them like grenades. TLS graphics improver for PlayStation 4. Simple white, simple seasons, winter. Okay. That's pretty good. And the one, if you want to have it as winter all the time in the game with the white floors, snowy floors, and that's pretty good, I must admit. I might download that one at Christmas time. Unlock robot color. Thicket executions, settlement quest. Okay, bunch of dot and dash stuff, so I'm not even going to bother opening them. Right, very quickly, so I have gone past the hour limit, which I didn't want to do. My current library, as I said before, is craft your own robot, keep radiance in the Commonwealth. Scrapback settlement all in one, that's the one I was on about earlier, in order to make sure you pretty much scrap everything without having to do the clean and smooth ones, which are down there. Even though I am still looking at the Spectacle Island one to save me having to do it. Limited edition bobbleheads, you'll see this coming up in a video pretty soon if you follow the modded gameplay. You'll see it, I think about 1 or 3 videos down the line. In that, I basically, in the middle of all these story missions, because if you have been following, you know that I have been doing these story modes. Doing story modes whilst incorporating modded gameplay, little pop-ups here, there, and everywhere as well to actually tell you what mod I'm using here and there. Whilst also at the moment, if you're currently watching the current videos, I'm doing a how-to on how to basically achieve the peace between Railroad, Brotherhood of Steel, and the Minutemen. It's not always that easy, and most people know how to do it anyway, or if you can just look it up on Google, but I thought because I was doing it on my gameplay series, I might as well do a little bit of a how-to whilst I'm actually playing the game as well. It doesn't take away from the game, it's literally just pop-ups at the bottom of the screen that I've actually done, where it tells you in in text form, because I don't always get my point across my thing because my stutter, unfortunately. Yes, I do have a stutter, in case you were wondering. Uh, Basically, it'll tell you what the steps are that I'm doing at that current time. The first time I did it in last week's video, I did actually list a bit of a head start, so if you haven't already reached that point, you can follow the path more or less. In order to get all three of the main factions working together. I've tried doing everything to try and get all four of them, but one way or another, the Institute has to win, or the other three have to win. Sanctuary max crafting resources. This basically gives you a Garden of Eden kit, which you can pick up from the bridge in Sanctuary and then drop it back off in your settlement object. Bounty Hunter I still haven't gotten to work, so I'm just going to delete this one eventually. Scrap grass, bushes and leaves, again essential to go along with this one. DC Glory keeps getting better and better. The mod keeps getting updated, and to be honest, DC keeps getting better as well. KMZ bench rich vendors, essential really for this one requires the DLC. This is the one I was singing the praise of. Again, legendary modifications. If you want to make your own mods, your own modded weapons up to legendary, you pick your own legendaries, everything you could possibly think of. So instead of downloading every possible legendary weapon that is out there, as well as trying to find all these ones off legendary enemies and keeping them and never using them, just make your own legendaries and sell any of the other ones you get. The legendaries you make, you can also sell, but you can't scrap, if that makes any sense to you as well. Where we go? Pre-world settlements. Not every settlement is covered, but most of them are. I'd say about a 90% of every possible settlement is covered. Rich vendors for rich requires a DLC. Workshop player bed, if you want to basically set yourself a bed in any settlement and then not have one of the other settlers nick it, then this is the one for you. There's a good choice. There's about 10 choice of beds which are actually titled My Bed, and you can put them down anywhere and the settlers will not go on them. There's choice of bunk beds. There's bunk beds, double beds, not that you ever really get to see yourself sleeping in them anyway, but there's a double beds, neat beds, scruffy beds, tidy beds, institute beds, institute tube beds, like I was going to say your father then, but like father aka Sean is in at the end of the game. Rivet City mod. As you can see, this one is actually downloaded, and I will be doing a, get ready for this, mod showcase on this pretty soon. The next time I get back into Fallout 4, which will probably be in about a week's time, because I'm currently doing the Agents of Mayhem video gameplay. So as soon as that wraps up, I'll be going back into Fallout 4 because I'm catching up on my videos now, the ones which I've actually pre-done. So I can get back in and I can try out all these new mods which I've actually downloaded, including the craft your own robot. And the first one I will be doing as a mod showcase, for all the people who say I don't do mod showcases, yes I do. I do them, but you just don't watch them because you don't watch my modded gameplay. But for this one and this one only, because it's such a big, massive mod, Rivet City, I mean, come on, anybody who played Fallout 3 knows what Rivet City is. So yeah, for this one mod, I'll be doing a standalone mod showcase video. I'll put it in with the modded gameplay playlist, or I might just put it, actually no, you know what, I'll do it with the mod reviews playlists. So if you're looking for it, if you miss it when it comes up, I will be doing that very, very soon. No build limit for no DLC, new combos, no build limit for all DLC as well. High carry capacity, which you have to start with a new game. Lightsaber, light sword. Brotherhood of Steel, unique ballistic weave, the black uniform that you get by basically pickpocketing the old man in the little control bunker. That's the only other place you can really get one. Functional nuke girl suit. I am currently using this outfit now on my character, and it's pretty damn good, I must admit. You don't get that much of a jump in video with it, but it's enough to have a bit of fun with and be able to explore some new areas that you usually can't get up on top of, like rooftops. Ashara 4, that's kind of what I used for my character base, but to be honest, mine looks better than that. Choose your own perks adds a perk locker outside of Vault 111, so you can unlock every single perk that is in the game. Some of the ones won't unlock though until you hit the required level, but they will be. You will feel the benefit of them. Presets again. I need to download this one, delete this one because it's just not in use anymore. But anyway, there we go. Okay, 1 minute and 10 seconds by the time I finally do my sign off. So thank you very much for watching. If you have watched all this far, I do apologise for it going on so long. It's one of the curses, I suppose, of doing it live. Stay tuned because I'll be doing the Skyrim one straight after this. And thank you again to anybody who watches, likes, and everything else. So as I said before, show your love, leave a like, please. And I do appreciate everything that everyone does so far. So thank you again, and I'll see you next week with one of the category mods, and then the week after again with the latest. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.